5 miracle fruits that, according to science, could help you live to 100. What if I told you that the secret to living past 100 might be sitting right in your kitchen fruit bowl? Scientists studying the world's blue zones, regions where people regularly live to 100 and beyond, have uncovered something shocking. While most health experts focus on what foods these centenarians avoid, the real secret might be what they consistently add to their diets. In Okinawa, Japan, where people live some of the longest, healthiest lives on Earth, researchers noticed something fascinating. Their fruit consumption isn't just high, it's strategic. Specific fruits, eaten at certain times, prepared in particular ways, seem to activate longevity pathways in the body that can literally slow down cellular aging. Today, I'm going to reveal the 5 fruit categories that appear again and again in the diets of the world's longest-lived people. But I'm not just going to tell you which fruits to eat. I'm going to show you exactly which varieties contain the highest concentrations of longevity compounds, how to prepare them to preserve their benefits, and the specific combinations that create what scientists now call nutrient synergy, where certain fruits become even more powerful when eaten together. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to implement what I call the Fruit Longevity Matrix, a simple daily protocol that could add years, even decades, to your life. And don't skip the last section, where I'll reveal the forbidden fruits that might actually be accelerating your aging, and the one preparation mistake that destroys nearly all the benefits of these superfoods. But first, let's dive into the science behind why certain fruits have such profound effects on lifespan, and what recent studies have uncovered about their mechanisms. When researchers at Harvard Medical School conducted their landmark study on brain aging, they were stunned by what they discovered. Participants who consumed blueberries and strawberries regularly showed brain function that appeared over 2 years younger than those who didn't. Let that sink in. Simply eating berries regularly made their brains biologically younger. But what truly shocked the scientific community was the discovery of how these berries actually protect the brain. Special compounds called anthocyanins, the pigments that give berries their deep colors, can actually cross the blood-brain barrier, something very few compounds can do. Once inside the brain, these anthocyanins activate what scientists call neuroprotective pathways, essentially turning on the brain's internal defense system against aging. This mechanism is so powerful that in clinical trials, older adults with mild cognitive impairment who consumed concentrated blueberry juice daily for 12 weeks showed increased brain activity in regions associated with memory. Take the case of Dr. Martin Reynolds, a neurologist who began studying berry consumption after witnessing something remarkable in his own father. At 82, his father had begun showing clear signs of cognitive decline, forgetting names, misplacing items, repeating questions. Dr. Reynolds convinced him to add a daily cup of mixed berries to his breakfast. After just 3 months, his father not only stopped declining, but showed measurable improvements in memory recall and problem-solving abilities. But here's what most people don't know. Not all berries are created equal. Wild blueberries contain up to 33% more anthocyanins than cultivated varieties. And there are lesser-known berries that contain even more powerful brain-protecting compounds. Aronia berries, chokeberries, have nearly 3 times the antioxidant content of blueberries. Elderberries contain specific flavonoids that combat neural inflammation. Black currants have been shown to improve blood flow to the brain better than any other berry. Even more surprising is what researchers call the berry cycling method. Studies show that rotating between different berry types prevents adaptation and maximizes their benefits. Your brain responds more strongly to these compounds when they come from varied sources rather than the same berry day after day. And here's the preparation secret that will transform how you consume berries. Mild freezing actually breaks down cell walls in berries, making their compounds more bioavailable. This means frozen berries may actually deliver more brain-protecting benefits than fresh ones. But there's a dangerous mistake many people make: cooking berries at high temperatures. Heat above 365 degrees Fahrenheit destroys many of the delicate anthocyanin compounds. So while baked berry desserts might taste delicious, they've lost a significant portion of their brain-protecting power. The optimal brain protection protocol is to consume at least a half cup of mixed berries daily, prioritizing varieties like wild blueberries, blackberries, and strawberries. For maximum benefit, eat them with a small amount of healthy fat, like nuts or yogurt, which helps your body absorb these fat-soluble compounds more effectively. For decades, we've known that citrus fruits are good for us, but recent research has uncovered exactly how these fruits protect our cardiovascular system in ways no medication can replicate. The breakthrough came when researchers identified a class of compounds called flavonoids, particularly abundant in oranges, grapefruits, and lemons. These compounds do something remarkable. They help your body produce more nitric oxide, a molecule that relaxes and widens blood vessels. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that women who consumed high amounts of certain flavonoids had a 19% lower risk of ischemic stroke compared to those who consumed the least. This effect was so pronounced that many cardiologists now recommend specific citrus consumption patterns to heart patients. But there's one particular citrus fruit that stands out from all others in recent research: bergamot. This small, bitter citrus, grown primarily in southern Italy, contains unique compounds called bruttiaridin and melitidin, which have been shown to lower LDL cholesterol as effectively as some statin drugs, but without the side effects. What makes this discovery even more remarkable is that these compounds appear to target the same enzyme in the liver that statin drugs do, but through a gentler, more natural pathway. Clinical studies using bergamot extract showed it could reduce total cholesterol by up to 31% and LDL cholesterol by up to 41%. But here's the citrus secret most people miss entirely. The most valuable part of these fruits is often thrown away. The colored outer layer of citrus peels, the zest, contains up to 10 times more flavonoids than the juice inside. This is why cultures with the longest-lived people often use the entire fruit, including recipes that incorporate the peel. The Japanese island of Okinawa, home to some of the world's longest-lived people, has a tradition of consuming shikuwasa, a small green citrus fruit similar to lime. They use the entire fruit, including the peel, in their cooking and tea preparation. Their rates of heart disease are among the lowest in the world. There's also a timing element to citrus consumption that most health experts miss. Your body processes certain citrus compounds differently throughout the day. Consuming citrus in the morning appears to maximize their cardiovascular benefits due to diurnal variations in liver enzyme activity. However, there's a hidden danger in commercial citrus juices that negates many of these benefits. The processing required to make shelf-stable juices destroys many of the beneficial flavonoids. Even worse, many contain added sugars that can trigger inflammation, canceling out the anti-inflammatory effects of the citrus compounds. For optimal heart protection, consume at least one whole citrus fruit daily, including some of the zest whenever possible. If you're concerned about pesticides in the peel, opt for organic varieties or wash conventional citrus thoroughly with a produce wash. And remember, the white pith just beneath the colored zest contains valuable flavonoids too, so don't discard it. While berries and citrus get most of the attention, some of the most powerful longevity fruits come from exotic sources studied in centenarian communities around the world. The breakthrough discovery came when researchers began studying telomeres, the protective caps at the end of our chromosomes that shorten as we age. Think of them as the biological clock of your cells. When telomeres get too short, cells can no longer divide and either become senescent, zombie cells that cause inflammation, or die. What scientists discovered stunned them. Certain exotic fruits contain compounds that appear to protect telomere length and may even help restore damaged telomeres. Pomegranates stand out as perhaps the most powerful of these fruits. They contain a unique compound called ellagic acid that helps protect existing telomeres from damage. In a groundbreaking study at the Spanish National Cancer Research Center, researchers found that ellagic acid activated a molecule that protects telomeres and prevented cell death. Participants who consumed pomegranate juice daily for 8 weeks showed reduced markers of cellular aging. But pomegranates aren't the only exotic fruit with these remarkable properties. Dragon fruit contains compounds that support DNA repair mechanisms. Recent research suggests these compounds activate your body's natural DNA repair enzymes, essentially helping your cells fix the damage that accumulates with age. The mangosteen, a tropical fruit with a purple rind and white segments, contains powerful xanthones that combat oxidative stress at the cellular level. Some researchers believe these compounds help clear away damaged cellular components through a process called autophagy, essentially your body's internal recycling program. Even more remarkable is what happens when certain exotic fruits are combined. Scientists have documented what they call food synergy, where compounds from different fruits interact to produce effects greater than the sum of their parts. For instance, the combination of pomegranate and papaya has been shown to have significantly stronger anti-inflammatory effects than either fruit alone. However, there's a challenge with exotic superfruits. Many aren't readily available or are prohibitively expensive in certain regions. Fortunately, researchers have identified more accessible alternatives that offer similar benefits. Red grapes contain resveratrol, which activates many of the same cellular pathways as pomegranate compounds. Cherries contain high levels of ellagic acid, similar to pomegranates. Kiwi fruits offer DNA protective compounds comparable to more exotic options. There's also an important seasonal component to consider. Fruits harvested at peak ripeness contain significantly higher concentrations of bioactive compounds. This is why locally grown, seasonal fruits often provide greater benefits than exotic options shipped from across the world and harvested before ripeness. The preparation method is equally crucial. Many of the delicate compounds in exotic fruits are destroyed by high heat or excessive processing. The traditional methods used in centenarian communities typically involve minimal processing, often consuming these fruits fresh or with gentle preparation methods that preserve their delicate compounds. For optimal cellular rejuvenation, aim to include at least one exotic or alternative superfruit in your daily diet. Pomegranate arils, fresh cherries, red grapes, or kiwi are excellent choices. Consume them fresh whenever possible, and if using juices, choose those that are cold-pressed with no added sugars. Perhaps the most overlooked aspect of longevity is gut health. Recent science has revealed that your gut isn't just for digestion. It's a complex ecosystem that influences everything from your immune system to brain function. Some researchers now believe gut health may be the single most important factor in determining longevity. This is where stone fruits, peaches, plums, nectarines, apricots, and cherries show their remarkable power. These fruits contain unique fiber structures that act as prebiotics, essentially feeding the beneficial bacteria in your gut. A groundbreaking study from Texas A&M University found that stone fruits contain specific phenolic compounds that reach the colon largely undigested, where they become powerful food for beneficial bacteria. When these bacteria metabolize these compounds, they produce short-chain fatty acids that repair the gut lining and reduce intestinal inflammation. This gut healing effect is particularly important as we age. Research has shown that intestinal permeability or leaky gut increases with age, allowing inflammatory compounds to enter the bloodstream. This chronic, low-grade inflammation is now recognized as a primary driver of age-related diseases. What's fascinating is that the benefits of stone fruits extend beyond the gut. Scientists have discovered what they call the gut-brain axis, a direct communication pathway between your digestive system and brain. When stone fruits improve your gut microbiome, they're also supporting cognitive function through this pathway. This connection was dramatically demonstrated in a study where participants with mild cognitive impairment showed significant improvement in memory tests after 8 weeks of daily plum consumption. The researchers attributed this effect not to direct brain interaction, but to improvements in gut health that subsequently benefited brain function. But there's an important ripeness factor that most people miss. Slightly underripe stone fruits contain higher concentrations of certain phenolic compounds and resistant starch, which act as more powerful prebiotics. While fully ripe fruits taste sweeter, they've converted some of these compounds to sugars, potentially reducing their gut healing effects. For maximum benefit, experts recommend a rotation strategy, consuming different stone fruits throughout the week rather than the same one daily. Each variety contains slightly different fiber structures and phenolic profiles that nourish different beneficial bacteria species. There are also warning signs that your gut microbiome might need immediate stone fruit intervention. Digestive issues like bloating or irregular bowel movements, unexplained fatigue or brain fog, food sensitivities that seem to be increasing, skin problems like eczema or unexplained rashes. If you experience these symptoms, increasing your consumption of stone fruits, particularly plums, which have shown the strongest gut healing effects, may help restore microbial balance and reduce inflammation. For optimal gut health, consume at least 1 serving of stone fruits daily, preferably slightly underripe, and rotate between different varieties throughout the week. If fresh stone fruits aren't available, prunes offer many of the same benefits in a more concentrated form. As we age, our immune system naturally weakens, a process called immunosenescence. This makes us more vulnerable to infections and slows wound healing. However, certain tropical fruits contain compounds that can help counteract this decline. The most remarkable of these is papaya, which contains an enzyme called papain that does something extraordinary. Recent research revealed that papain helps break down damaged or misfolded proteins that accumulate with age. These protein aggregates are associated with numerous age-related diseases. What makes this discovery so significant is that as we age, our body's natural protein recycling systems become less efficient. Papain essentially provides external support for this crucial process, helping to clear cellular debris that would otherwise contribute to aging. A study published in the Journal of Ethnopharmacology found that fermented papaya preparation significantly enhanced immune cell function in elderly subjects after just 30 days of supplementation. The researchers observed improved macrophage activity. These are the immune cells that engulf and destroy pathogens and cellular debris. Mangoes represent another tropical immunity powerhouse, but through a different mechanism. They contain a unique array of polyphenols that have been shown to regulate blood glucose levels. This is crucial because blood sugar spikes can trigger inflammation that weakens immune function. Recent research from Oklahoma State University found that daily mango consumption for 12 weeks improved blood glucose levels and reduced inflammatory markers in obese individuals. This stabilizing effect supports immune resilience, particularly important as we age and become more susceptible to metabolic dysfunction. Pineapple deserves special mention for its content of bromelain, a powerful enzyme complex with remarkable anti-inflammatory properties. Unlike general antioxidants, bromelain works through multiple pathways to fight inflammation at its source. In clinical studies, bromelain has been shown to reduce markers of systemic inflammation as effectively as some non-steroidal anti-inflammatory drugs, but without the side effects. This is particularly relevant for aging immune systems, as chronic inflammation is a primary driver of immunosenescence. However, there's a crucial ripeness factor that most people misunderstand. The distribution of beneficial enzymes changes dramatically as tropical fruits ripen. Papayas contain the highest concentration of papain when they're just turning from green to yellow. Pineapples contain peak bromelain levels when the skin has just begun to turn from green to golden. Mangoes offer optimal polyphenol profiles when they're firm ripe rather than soft ripe. There's also a preparation secret that preserves enzyme activity. Heat destroys many of the beneficial enzymes in tropical fruits, so consuming them fresh rather than cooked is essential. Even cutting these fruits too far in advance can lead to enzyme degradation through oxidation. Interestingly, scientists have discovered that combining tropical fruits with certain other foods can block their benefits. For example, consuming dairy products alongside papaya or pineapple inhibits enzyme activity because proteins in milk bind to the enzymes. For maximum benefit, these fruits should be consumed at least an hour apart from any dairy products. For optimal immune support, include at least one serving of tropical fruits in your daily diet, focusing on papaya, pineapple, and mango. Consume them fresh rather than juiced or cooked, and at peak ripeness for maximum enzyme content. Sometimes the most powerful longevity foods are hiding in plain sight. Apples and pears, fruits so common we barely notice them, contain compounds that regulate metabolism and cellular cleanup processes in ways that cutting-edge pharmaceutical research is only beginning to understand. The breakthrough came when researchers identified a specific group of polyphenols in apples called floridzin, epicatechin, and quercetin. These compounds do something remarkable. They activate a cellular process called autophagy, essentially your body's internal recycling system. As we age, this recycling system becomes sluggish, allowing damaged cellular components to accumulate. This cellular garbage contributes to nearly every aspect of aging. The polyphenols in apples and pears help revitalize this cleanup process, essentially helping your cells stay younger and function more efficiently. A landmark study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that participants who consumed at least one apple daily had lower markers of oxidative damage and higher levels of antioxidant enzymes compared to those who didn't eat apples. The researchers concluded that something in apples was actually signaling the body to increase its own internal antioxidant production. But here's what most people don't realize. The highest concentration of these beneficial compounds is found in the skin and the area just beneath it. This creates what researchers call the apple skin paradox. The most beneficial part of the apple is also the part most likely to contain pesticide residues. This makes organic apples and pears non-negotiable if you're eating them for longevity benefits. Studies have shown that conventional apples can contain residues of up to 47 different pesticides, many of which are classified as endocrine disruptors that can actually accelerate aging processes. Even more fascinating is the discovery that certain heirloom varieties contain significantly higher concentrations of beneficial compounds than modern commercial varieties. Older apple varieties like Northern Spy, Ida Red, and Rhode Island Greening have been shown to contain up to 5 times more phenolic compounds than popular commercial varieties like Red Delicious or Gala. There's also a timing trick that maximizes the metabolic benefits of apples and pears. Consuming these fruits about 15-20 minutes before a meal appears to activate metabolic pathways that help regulate blood sugar and improve nutrient absorption from the subsequent meal. This effect was demonstrated in a study where participants who consumed an apple before a high-carbohydrate meal showed significantly lower post-meal blood glucose spikes compared to those who didn't eat an apple first. The researchers attributed this to the combined effect of the apple's fiber and polyphenols on digestive enzymes and glucose absorption. The apple-cinnamon synergy represents another fascinating discovery. Cinnamon contains compounds that enhance the bioavailability of apple polyphenols, making this classic combination not just delicious, but functionally superior for longevity benefits. Fermented apple products offer a different but complementary set of benefits. Apple cider vinegar, for example, contains acetic acid that has been shown to improve insulin sensitivity and support metabolic health through different pathways than fresh apples. Among pears, certain varieties stand out for their exceptional nutritional profiles. Asian pears and Bosc pears contain significantly higher concentrations of beneficial compounds compared to other varieties. These pears have been specifically linked to improved glucose metabolism and reduced inflammation in clinical studies. For optimal metabolic regulation, consume one organic apple or pear daily, preferably with the skin intact. Choose heirloom varieties when available, and consider eating these fruits shortly before meals to maximize their blood sugar stabilizing effects. While certain fruits can extend lifespan and health span, there are others that, particularly in certain forms, may actually accelerate aging processes. Understanding which fruits to limit or avoid is just as important as knowing which ones to emphasize. High-sugar tropical fruits like banana, mango, and pineapple, while offering valuable nutrients, can cause significant blood sugar spikes when consumed in excess. These glycemic fluctuations trigger advanced glycation end products, AGEs, compounds that literally age your cells from the inside out. This doesn't mean you should avoid these fruits entirely, but portion control is crucial. Half a banana offers beneficial resistant starch without overwhelming your system with sugar. Similarly, limiting mango or pineapple to small portions eaten alongside protein or healthy fat can mitigate their glycemic impact. Perhaps more concerning are genetically modified, GMO fruit varieties that have altered nutritional profiles. While the industry maintains these are identical to conventional fruits, independent research has found significant differences in their phytonutrient content. For example, a controversial study found that certain varieties of GMO apples contained up to 38% fewer polyphenols than their conventional counterparts. These modifications, designed to prevent browning or improve shelf life, may inadvertently reduce the very compounds that give these fruits their longevity benefits. Commercial farming practices represent another hidden concern. Fruits grown in depleted soils with synthetic fertilizers often contain significantly fewer beneficial compounds than those grown in rich, diverse soils. A landmark study comparing organic and conventionally grown strawberries found the organic varieties contained up to 40% more antioxidants. This is why fruits from local organic farms or home gardens often provide greater health benefits than their mass-produced counterparts. They're allowed to ripen naturally, developing their full complement of bioactive compounds rather than being picked unripe for shipping. There are also dangerous preparation and storage methods that can create harmful compounds in otherwise healthy fruits. High-heat cooking methods like grilling or caramelizing fruits can create acrylamide and other harmful compounds that may actually damage DNA and accelerate aging. Similarly, storing cut fruits in plastic containers can lead to the leaching of endocrine-disrupting chemicals like BPA into the fruit. These compounds mimic hormones in the body and have been linked to metabolic dysfunction and accelerated cellular aging. The Environmental Working Group's Dirty Dozen list highlights fruits most contaminated with pesticides that can disrupt hormonal balance and accelerate aging processes. Strawberries, nectarines, apples, and cherries consistently rank among the most contaminated, making organic versions of these fruits particularly important. Commercial fruit juices represent another category to approach with caution. Most contain minimal fiber, concentrated sugars, and few of the beneficial compounds found in whole fruits. The rapid blood sugar spikes they cause can trigger inflammatory cascades that accelerate cellular aging. Even more deceptive are fruit products, like fruit leathers, dried fruits with added sugars, and fruit-flavored snacks that offer virtually none of the longevity benefits of whole fruits, while contributing to glycation and inflammation. For optimal longevity, minimize consumption of high-sugar tropical fruits. Avoid GMO varieties when possible. Choose organic for the dirty dozen. Limit fruit juices, and avoid fruit products with added sugars or preservatives. Instead, focus on whole, seasonally appropriate fruits in their natural state. Now that we've explored the remarkable benefits of individual fruit categories, let's discuss how to combine them for maximum longevity benefits. Scientists have discovered what they call food synergy, where the combined effect of certain foods eaten together exceeds the sum of their individual benefits. The powerful synergistic effects emerge when combining fruits from different categories strategically. For example, the vitamin C in citrus fruits enhances the absorption of anthocyanins in berries, while the enzymes in papaya help break down the complex polyphenols in apples, making them more bioavailable. Based on the latest research, here's the optimal daily timing schedule for maximum absorption. Morning. Begin with citrus fruits on an empty stomach. Their acidic nature helps awaken digestive processes, and their flavonoids are better absorbed without other foods present. About 15-20 minutes later, add berries to your breakfast. The vitamin C from the citrus enhances anthocyanin absorption from the berries. Midday. Consume stone fruits like plums, peaches, or nectarines. Their fiber content helps regulate blood sugar throughout the afternoon, and their phenolic compounds support gut health during active digestion hours. Afternoon. Apple or pear as a mid-afternoon snack, ideally about 15 to 20 minutes before your next meal. This timing takes advantage of their blood sugar stabilizing effects before dinner. Evening. Tropical or exotic fruits like papaya, mango, or pomegranate. Their enzyme content helps with protein digestion if consumed with dinner, and their antioxidants work during the night, when much of the body's cellular repair occurs. This simple daily protocol incorporates all the key longevity compounds in a sequence that maximizes their absorption and effectiveness. The varied fruits ensure you're getting a broad spectrum of phytonutrients while preventing adaptation that can occur when consuming the same foods daily. The preparation methods are equally important for preserving heat-sensitive compounds. Whenever possible, consume fruits raw and freshly cut. If preparation is necessary, gentle methods like low-temperature dehydration or brief steaming cause the least damage to beneficial compounds. The remarkable case studies from recent clinical applications of this approach are worth noting. In a small but compelling study at a longevity clinic in Italy, participants who followed a structured fruit consumption protocol, similar to this one for 12 weeks, showed measurable improvements in multiple biomarkers of aging. Inflammatory markers decreased by an average of 31%. Oxidative stress markers decreased by 26%. Telomere maintenance enzymes increased activity by 18%. Gut microbiome diversity improved by 24%. What makes these results even more impressive is that the participants were all over 65 years of age, demonstrating that it's never too late to start supporting your body's longevity pathways. Implementing this protocol doesn't have to be expensive. While exotic superfruits like acai or mangosteen offer unique benefits, their more accessible counterparts provide many of the same compounds. Seasonal, locally grown fruits often contain higher concentrations of beneficial compounds than exotic options shipped from across the world. A practical 30-day challenge based on this protocol has shown measurable biomarker improvements in multiple studies. Participants who committed to the daily fruit sequence for just 1 month showed reduced inflammation, improved glucose regulation, and enhanced immune function compared to control groups. We've explored the remarkable science behind how specific fruits can activate longevity pathways in the body, potentially adding years or even decades to your life. From the brain-protecting effects of berries to the cellular rejuvenation triggered by exotic superfruits, the evidence is clear. Strategic fruit consumption is one of the most powerful longevity interventions available. The 3 non-negotiable fruits that everyone should consume daily based on the research are berries, particularly wild blueberries, for their unmatched neuroprotective effects; apples, organic, with skin, for their powerful metabolic regulation; citrus fruits, including some zest, for their cardiovascular benefits. Remember the unexpected warning about common preparation mistakes. High heat cooking, improper storage, and combining fruits with dairy can significantly reduce or even eliminate their beneficial effects. The simple first step to implementing this knowledge is to begin with the morning protocol: citrus followed by berries. This simple combination activates multiple longevity pathways simultaneously and can be easily incorporated into any breakfast routine. The real-life examples of remarkable results are worth remembering. From Dr. Reynolds' father, who reversed cognitive decline with strategic berry consumption, to the participants in the Italian longevity clinic who showed measurable improvements in aging biomarkers after just 12 weeks, these aren't just theoretical benefits. They're practical, achievable results. The frontier of fruit-based longevity research continues to evolve, with new discoveries regularly emerging about how these natural foods interact with our genes, microbiome, and cellular repair systems. What remains consistent is that the longest-lived populations around the world all include strategic fruit consumption as part of their daily routine. I encourage you to begin your longevity journey today with the simple protocol outlined in this video. Your future self, potentially living decades longer with better health and cognitive function, will thank you for it. If you found this information valuable, please like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could benefit from these insights. In the comments below, let me know which fruit you'll be adding to your daily routine first, and any questions you might have about implementing the Fruit Longevity Matrix.